Chapter 1. The Ticket of Dreams. In the dusty town of Elmswood, where rusted fences creaked in the wind and the only glitter came from broken glass on the sidewalks, lived a man named Samuel Briggs. Samuel was a mechanic with grease-stained hands and a bank account that constantly flirted with zero. He lived in a small, run-down trailer at the edge of town, barely making enough to survive. But he had dreams. Wild, sprawling dreams of mansions, fast cars, and fame. Every week, he spent his last few dollars on a lottery ticket. One day, he would mutter, clutching the ticket with calloused fingers. One day it'll be my turn. Most people laughed at him, shaking their heads. Keep dreaming, Sammy. But one sweltering July evening, Samuel stood outside the corner store, ticket in hand, eyes wide with disbelief as the numbers on his screen matched every single one on his lottery slip. He had just won $114 million. The town erupted in chaos. News vans swarmed. Reporters called him a miracle man, and the mayor offered him the key to the city. For once, Samuel wasn't a forgotten mechanic. He was Elmswood's golden boy. Chapter 2. The Rise of a King. Samuel didn't just buy a new house, he bought a mansion on the cliffs of California. He swapped his pickup truck for a fleet of exotic cars. He hired a private chef, a team of lawyers, bodyguards, and even a personal astrologer who told him he was destined for greatness. He strutted through life with the arrogance of a king. Money changes everything, he declared. And it did. At first, he was generous. He paid off the mortgages of his old friends, donated to the town's crumbling school, bought new equipment for the fire department, but the kindness didn't last. Power tasted sweet, and Samuel became intoxicated. He began mocking those who once mocked him. He fired employees for the smallest errors. At parties, he bragged about how he pulled himself out of the dirt, while others were too lazy to do the same. "If I can do it," he said, waving champagne. "Any fool can." Old friends stopped calling. Family visits grew rare, but Samuel didn't care. He had gold, luxury, women, and admiration. Or so he thought. Chapter 3. The Shadows Arrive. It started subtly. His chef of 3 years abruptly quit, leaving a handwritten note. "There's something wrong in this house. I can't stay." Then came the noises. Whispers in the halls, soft footsteps behind locked doors. Samuel blamed stress, maybe too much champagne. But it got worse. He awoke one night to see a shadow at the foot of his bed. A tall, thin figure with hollow eyes. When he lunged, it vanished. His security cameras caught nothing. Sleep eluded him. Mirrors began to crack on their own. The pipes groaned like voices in pain. Lights flickered whenever he entered a room. He called a priest. Father Ramos walked into the house, stood in silence for a full minute and said, "This house is cursed. Whatever brought you, your wealth brought something else with it." Samuel laughed him out. "I bought this house with my money, not magic. Get lost, Padre." Father Ramos paused at the door. The devil often wears a suit and hands you a winning ticket. Chapter 4. The fall begins. One by one, things began to crumble. A former friend sued him for breach of promise. A scandal erupted when tabloids accused him of assaulting a maid at a party. Though the claims were dismissed, his name was smeared. Sponsors dropped him. Investors pulled out. Samuel lashed out, fired half his staff, locked himself in his mansion, and the shadows returned. He saw them in reflections, in the corner of his vision, in his dreams. The whispers grew cruel, greedy, arrogant, unworthy. He drank to silence them, took pills to sleep. Nothing worked. He began seeing a girl, a pale child in a white dress standing in the hallway. She never spoke, just stared. Psychiatrists were called, medications prescribed. No one believed him. Chapter 5. A dangerous descent. Soon, he trusted no one. He changed security teams weekly, installed dozens of cameras, slept with a gun under his pillow. Still, he felt watched. One night, after another vision of the pale girl, Samuel stormed into his private theater and smashed every screen. "Leave me alone!" he screamed. The lights exploded, the walls cracked, and from the darkness a voice answered, "You were given everything, and you wasted it." Terrified, Samuel ran from the house, barefoot and wild-eyed, through the woods that surrounded the estate. The media caught glimpses of him wandering the freeway, muttering about demons and ghosts. He was admitted to a private psychiatric hospital. The doctors labeled it sudden onset psychosis induced by stress and isolation. But Samuel knew the truth. It was the curse. Chapter 6. The final blow. Months passed. Samuel returned to his mansion, now a shell of what it once was. The furniture was gone, the paintings sold. He had burned through nearly all of his winnings, desperate to escape the curse, to buy peace. No friends, no family, just ghosts. One night, he stood before the broken mirror in his room. His hair was matted, his eyes sunken. He barely recognized the man staring back. Behind him stood the pale girl. This time, she spoke. "You won the lottery, but you lost your soul." He collapsed to his knees, weeping. "What do you want from me?" She knelt beside him. "You had a chance to rise, to lift others with you, but your pride blinded you. So now, you must walk alone." And just like that, she vanished. Epilogue. The man who had it. All years later, a young journalist named Clara visited Elmswood for a feature on the cursed lottery winner. She found Samuel living in a one-room shack on the outskirts of town, thin and frail, talking to no one but himself. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. Samuel looked at her with tired eyes. "The money was never the curse. My arrogance was." She published the piece under the title, "The Man Who Had It All and Lost Himself." It went viral. Samuel never saw it. He passed away quietly one winter, alone. In his shack, they found a worn lottery ticket framed on the wall and a note beneath it. "I won the world, but forgot my heart. If you ever get lucky, stay humble, or lose everything that truly matters." Moral of the story: wealth can buy comfort, but never character. Arrogance blinds. Humility saves.